Hello guys, Antoine here for Simarchitecture and welcome back to a new video. So today we're building a huge summer residence I've been working on for I think 2 months. Not that is the biggest house or palace that I've ever built, but it's probably one of the most detailed, and I really wanted to do my best for this build, so that's why it took me such a long time. And to be honest, sometimes I was a little discouraged, so I just focused on something else and came back to this from time to time. But it's finally here. So before I tell you about the build itself, I would like to tell you about my inspiration, and my inspiration is a palace located in Germany which is called Schloss Dwasieden, and it was built on the Rügen Island in northern Germany, which is a very popular place especially during summer. And this palace was built at the end of the 19th century for one of the richest men of the time. The palace was built by Friedrich Hitzig, a disciple of Friedrich Schinkel, Friedrich Schinkel, one of the most famous German architects, who, for example, built the Altes Museum in Berlin, but also many other places, including some royal buildings in Potsdam and some other really famous places. And he was a really talented architect based on like antiquity architecture. So yes, he is one of my favorite architects. Anyway, this place was sold in the 1930s, and was then destroyed in 1948, sadly. There were ruins that remained there, but then it completely disappeared, so now there's absolutely nothing to see. It's probably the terrace, or well, the elevation of the terrain somehow, but that's it. There's nothing else to see there. In my version of this build, I really focused on the exterior, so the exterior is really accurate, while the interior was completely invented by myself, except the main hall, which is based on a rare photograph that still exists and that are gathered in a book dedicated to this place. And if you're interested, it is available on Amazon. I think you just have to type Schloss Dwasieden, and it's called something like White Palace or something like this. Yes. So as I told you, the interior is really completely, how to say that, out of my mind. It's not based on things that I've seen. It was quite hard to figure out how to organize the whole floor plan, especially because we have this big main hall in the middle of the build, which means that all the rooms around it were kind of small. And you will notice that there aren't much very large room in this build. So I decided to have the small rooms, but to have them with a very strong focus on details to make it really luxurious and also eclectic, because this place was built in the 19th century in the so-called historicism era, which was a time where architecture was getting inspired by all the styles from the past. So I wanted to have a very 19th century spirit in this build. So you will notice that it's very eclectic, especially on the furniture that I chose. They're all from different times and eras, and they all really work fine together, I would say. There are many rooms to explore in this build, but there's a part that you won't see either on the speed build or on the end views, because the video is already too long, I think, so I really had to choose what to show you, and I thought that focusing on the noble rooms, if I can say, it was more interesting. But on the ground floor, which could be considered as a basement, but technically it's the first floor, the ground floor, you have the servants' quarter, which is really large. So there 6 bedrooms for the servants, and 2 big suites for the managers, kind of. I don't really know how to call that, like the super servants, the butlers somehow, who take care of everything and tell the servants what to do. There's of course a big common room, a big kitchen for the whole house. There's storage rooms, there's a laundry room, there's even a non-functional heating room for the heating of whole the mansion. So this part you can just explore it if you download the build, which will be available on the gallery, of course. And now to the noble floors. So on the first floor you have the main hall, as I told you, and all around it there are several rooms. So on one side there is the dining room with a small drawing room, which can be used as a just a lounge or a smoking room. On the other side there is a gambling room, which is just open to the dining room, and just next to this room there is the library. So this side of the house is more dedicated to men, because I just found an old plan of the mansion. There's one plan that exists, and there were like the rooms are really divided in different uses. So there is a part which was more dedicated to the men and another part which was more dedicated to the women. So on the other side of the house there is a music room slash ballroom, even though it's not that big to have big balls in the house. But there is also a drawing room which is not really dedicated to men and women, it's just for everyone. And next to this drawing room there is another drawing room which can be called the ladies' drawing room. And finally there is another room which is like at the same, it's located in symmetry of the library. So on the other side there's this room, which is a completely pink room with flowers and so on. And this is definitely a room for the ladies of the house. So I don't know how you can use it, but you know, there are so many sitting rooms and sitting area here that you'll have to find a use yourself for these rooms. And of course there is my favorite room, which is the staircase. It's not really a room itself, but for me it's the most beautiful space of the house, and I spent quite a long time to figure out how to make it work and how to make it look really elegant and impressive at the same time. So I really hope you will enjoy this, because it really took me a long time, probably 2 hours just for the staircase. From there you can go to the upper area of the main hall. So there's a small somehow corridor or balcony going all around, and you have a view downstairs. And from there you can access all the bedrooms, bathrooms. There's also a study room which is also on this floor. There are 4 guest bedrooms, 2 smaller ones and 2 bigger ones. They share different bathrooms. Only the master bedroom has 2 bathrooms, one for the woman and one for the man. But the other bedrooms have to share one bathroom for 2 one bathroom for 2 bedrooms. Yes. And just a focus on the master bedroom, which is like a big part of the house actually, because it consists of several rooms. There is the main bedroom, which is really large, and it has a frontal view on the entrance of the property, with all those windows which opens to a balcony. On each side there is the side for the man and the side for the woman. So on the women's side there is a beautiful bathroom, and by the way, all the bathroom rather have a sort of Art Deco style, because I was not feeling like doing something really rococo or baroque. So I thought that going for a more modern style for the bathroom wouldn't be too much of a problem, because you can imagine that the house was like somehow redesigned or renovated several years after it was built, so it works. And I think the Art Deco style, as it's modern but still inspired by ancient architecture, it works fine. So there are 2 bathrooms on each side. They're strictly identical. And then there are the private rooms, or either the man or the woman. So on the women's side, there is a small dressing room slash makeup room, or just a room to get ready. And if you go upstairs, because this room is located in the tower, the 2 big towers you have on the front side of the house. So if you go upstairs, there is for the women a sort of study room with a panoramic views on all the surroundings, because there are windows on each wall. And on the man's side, there is just a small drawing room, and if you go upstairs, it's another drawing room, which is more like a chilling room slash library slash yes, relaxation room. And yes, I think I told you everything about this house. I can tell you about the garden, which is quite simple, because the house takes a lot of space, so I didn't have too much liberty about the garden. But this is still a nice garden, I think. It's really manicured, somehow French, because everything is symmetrical. There are a lot of statues, flowers everywhere. It's not really meant to be used or played in, but it's still usable, I think. But the main feature of this lot is, of course, the palace and the views. The garden is secondary, I would say. So yes, now I think it will be time for me to leave you. Just be aware that this is probably the last video of the month or of the summer. I don't know, because then I'm in vacation, actually in holidays, but tomorrow, when I'm recording this video, tomorrow I'm flying to Germany, and then have a lot of stuff to do everywhere in France. So I'm not sure I will have time to prepare another video before September. So enjoy this video. Please tell me in the comment what you think about this place, about the style that I went for. And yeah, just tell me if you like it. And now I wish you a nice summer, and I will see you next time. Bye.